Welcome to EO Talks, Eastern Oregon's very own talk show, only here on EOAlive.
Please introduce yourself and tell us which office you're running for.
Hi, I'm Matthew Miles. I'm running for Mayor of La Grande.
Now, can you tell us more about your personal background, your professional background?
Professional background, well, I'm a retired educator. I've spent a number of years as a school administrator. And my wife and I currently run a small business here in La Grande. We have a self-serve car wash.
Now, you mentioned you're a school administrator. Do you have any other public service or political background?
Well, public service, yes. I have served in the military. I'm a combat veteran, served in Iraq during the Iraq War, retired from the Oregon Army National Guard. I've also served on a lot of committees and boards locally. I was on the board of directors for Grand Ronde Child Center for a number of years, GRCC. My wife and I have also volunteered for with the La Grande Police Department, helping out at different events around town. And we look for opportunities to serve others through our church and through other activities.
Now, can you give me a broader overview of your personal biography?
Sure. Well, I lived in a number of different states growing up, but call Baker, Oregon, my hometown. That's where we have a extended family. My parents live there currently, and that's where I graduated from high school. Also where I met my wife. So Eastern Oregon is my home. I have a mechanically inclined, like working on cars. And after high school, I went to work in a local car dealership for a while, and then managed old-fashioned service stations for several years, where I learned the art of salesmanship, customer service, and managing other people. It was a good experience. I later moved to Ontario, worked as a truck driver and truck mechanic. During this time, I also joined the National Guard and managed to get a couple of years of college in. I decided I wanted to finish college. Didn't want to be a mechanic forever, and moved my young family to La Grande, where I attended Eastern Oregon EOU. It was Eastern Oregon State College back in those days. Finished my degree in secondary education and was anxious to get to work. I did a number of jobs during that time while I was finishing up college. Worked at D&B, S&G Machinery, a local tractor and implement place, and wildland firefighting and cutting firewood for a few extra bucks. My first teaching job was at Long Creek, Oregon, where I taught PE and history. Moved from there to Elgin, taught school in Elgin, and ended up in Washington State for a number of years as a school teacher and coach. During those years, I went back to school, completed my master's degree at Eastern Washington University in Cheney. Also completed a school administration program, and took a job as a kindergarten through 12th grade principal at a small town in Eastern Washington. In 2000, my family and I, my wife and 3 kids, we moved here to La Grande, back to La Grande. It was good to get back home in Eastern Oregon and worked for La Grande School District for many years as a school administrator, primarily at La Grande Middle School, La Grande High School, and at the district office. For the last 10 years of my career, I was a principal at Cove School and now that I'm retired, I'm looking for opportunities to serve my community again.
Now, which community and city issues do you hope to address as the mayor of La Grande?
Good question. I'm listening. I'm making the rounds. I don't have an axe to grind, so to speak. I'm looking for input from others about what's working well and what areas we as a city government, we need to improve on. I've got my own ideas, but I'm looking to serve others, not just go with what I think I know. And so I'm gathering input. Regardless, as I firm up what people see are key issues, areas to focus on, both things that are going well as well as things that we can improve on. I want to focus on what I bring to the table, which is a strong background in working with diverse groups to get things done, leadership, and the ability to focus on common goals and common sense solutions.
Now, who is your favorite Oregon historical figure?
Favorite historical figure? I'm a history teacher, but at heart. So I'm gonna fire off two at you. One would have to be the father of Oregon, John McLaughlin. Dr. John McLaughlin worked for Hudson Bay Company way back when, and really kind of laid the groundwork to get people settled into Oregon and settled in Oregon. A very interesting, colorful Oregon historical figure. The second one is Governor Tom McCall. Governor McCall is the first Oregon governor that I can remember as a young teenager. He was governor at that time in my life. And what I recall about him and you know, my recollection of why he stands out is something I admire, and that's a focus on personal responsibility and common sense solutions.
Now, next up, what is the primary source of your personal values?
Good question. My parents. Selflessly, I want to make sure I say that clearly, selflessly, not selfishly, selflessly served as missionaries for many years in very harsh conditions on a small island out in the South Pacific in Indonesia. They are my inspiration and example on how to serve others. I'm a born again Christian. The Bible is the foundation on which I stand. And I believe the Bible has a lot of guidance and direction on how to live your life and work with others.
Now, do you anticipate any potential criticism from your opponent? And do you have any responses to potential criticisms?
I'm not sure. I suppose that potential criticism might be my lack of political experience. If that were the case, I would respond this way. One, I've been in public education for over 30 years, and that's a political experience by itself. I'm familiar with government bureaucracy, familiar with big budgets, public budgets, how to manage those grant writing, and the myriad of paperwork that goes with all of that. That's something I'm accustomed to, and I'm accustomed to working with government agencies to get things done. I don't see that as a problem. It's something I'm comfortable with. More importantly, what I bring to the table is years of experience working with diverse groups to find common goals, identify them, put together a task list, and focus on the what, how, and when of task accomplishment. Working together for common sense solutions to get things done.
Well, now it's time for our world famous lightning round. So first off, what is your favorite La Grande landmark?
La Grande landmark. I love our parks. I've got my children grew up here, and I've got grandchildren. I love going to the parks. Love Mac Square, and I long for the days where families can gather again at Mac Square, listen to some music in the summertime, enjoy those Christmas tree lightings, all of that. That's a favorite.
It is pretty nice over there. Next up, what is your favorite La Grande restaurant?
Well, my wife and I enjoy eating out a lot, and so we've got a number of favorites. We've been to a lot of different restaurants. I'm not sure I've got a favorite, but a lot of good ones here in La Grande.
All righty. Ducks or beavers?
Well, my dad and uncle both went to Oregon State. They are Beaver believers, and but I also enjoy Oregon football.
All righty. Now, what is your favorite Eastern Oregon location?
Favorite Eastern Oregon location. There's Eastern Oregon is a special place. There's a lot here. This winter I've enjoyed Anthony Lakes. I like to ski. Summertime I enjoy camping. I've got a favorite spot, several favorite spots, but Two Color up in by West Eagle Meadows is beautiful.
Do you have any final thoughts for our viewers, and can you let them know how they can get in touch with you?
Final thoughts. I'm looking forward to getting to know more people in La Grande, and talking about things that are important to you and how we as a city government can better serve our community and serve you. I'll be getting a website out soon, and a lot of putting more information on as I more clearly define where we're going with our campaign. In the meantime, feel free to get a hold of me, text or phone. I've got phone number. Matt for Mayor, by the way, 1T. Let me hold this where you can see it. Matt, like a doormat, Matt for Mayor, 541-910-4475. Looking forward to getting to know people better and talking about things that are of concern and importance to you.